Oh my goodness me. I feel like I'm still recovering from this morning's classes. They were so good. We did Burn Baby Burn Booty Band, and some of the comments were so funny on that one. I might have to create a reel later with some of the comments. And then after, we did a sculpt cardio sandwich. The sculpt is our low intensity but high, no, wrong way round, low impact, high intensity workout. So we did 20 seconds of a cardio move, 40 seconds of a strength move, and 20 seconds of a cardio move again. It was really, really good and it went so fast. But oh my gosh, by the end, we were all like, what actually happened this morning? But workouts were done by 6:50. I'm feeling amazing for the rest of the day. And I always upload them to on demand by about 8:30 so everyone can get on there and you can just do it literally whenever. So follow the week, however suits you. And if you're watching, it's got a really annoying piece of baby hair. Getting a lot of baby hair in this pregnancy. It's driving me a little bit wild. Okay, I think I've sorted it for now. Anyway, we've got some wicked questions as always. This week, a lot of the questions are based around, of course, staying on track in the school holidays because you may have already broken up, or maybe this is literally the last week of term now, and things start to ramp up a little bit. Things start to get a little bit busier, and then summer holidays can be sometimes quite chaotic and it can be very difficult to stay on track because routines are different. Even if you don't have kids, summer can be quite challenging if you're on a health and fitness regime or you're just trying to keep a normal routine because there's so many other things going on. Hold on, Tech Will is now calling me. Hi Tech Will, I'm just on the Q&A.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Do you need... All right, I'll
No,
give you...
I made it. I made it to the train station.
Okay, did everyone hear that? He made it to the train station. Do you want to say hello to everybody?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, well done, well done. I'll see you soon. Bye. On that note, Tech Will, I don't know if your partners are like this as well. He's such a last minute person, honestly. So he's on jury service this week. I don't know if any of you have done jury service, but he got the call up and he's on jury service. So he's getting the train in. Quite a novelty. Like in Nottingham, we wouldn't normally get the train in. We would normally probably drive. It's probably easier, but he's getting the train in. It's like a novelty. But of course, Will leaves it to the last minute. 2 minutes before he left, I haven't got a packed lunch, and everyone's running around trying to help Will make a packed lunch. And anyway, he was just letting me know he's made it. So now we all know. Great, I'm really pleased. Let's crack on. So staying in routine when summer challenges impose on us. Right. Let's begin. I have always, well, that's what I always do. I have put them into little sections. So the first section we'll start off with is mindset, motivation, discipline, yes, in the school holidays, and also how to stay focused when things are going really good. Like when you're starting to lose weight, you're on track. But then you get a bit complacent and you kind of relax a little bit and then maybe let some of the habits slip. How do you keep the motivation when you're actually doing good and you tend to take your foot off the gas, if you like? So, question number one. I'm on school holidays and already struggling to exercise without the 6 a.m. class. Any tips? Okay, this is so common when routine changes. And the key is replacing the structure and also not expecting motivation to appear just because it's the holidays and it's a different routine. You've still got to be committed and find a new routine. So, first thing I'd say, you can still come to the 6 o'clock class if you like. We are there. I am there every day, rain or shine, doesn't matter when it is. I am there. So if you want to keep some kind of routine going on in the holidays, and I would say if you do have kids or you do need the structure, actually it can be really useful just getting up before anyone else gets up and doing your workout then, because then it is done. You've had that little pocket of time for you. You feel really energized. You started your day on a really positive note, which then just sets you up for the rest of the day. So I would say, hey, why not come to the 6? Or if you normally come to the 6, come to the 6:30, have a half-hour lie-in. Or if you really don't want to do that and think it absolutely not, Lorna, well, we need to restructure this. Book your workouts in like an appointment. So it's not optional. It is an appointment where you have to turn up, like you would the hairdressers, like you would the dentists, you would the doctors. You wouldn't just not turn up. You would get your booty there, no matter how busy you were. So that's what we're going to do. And make it something that you actually enjoy as well. So something that you'll want to do. So it seems easy, first of all. Do it in your pajamas. Make it really easy. Get your workout gear out the night before, or literally lay your equipment out in your space, whether that's your living room or your kitchen, your conservatory, your garage, wherever it is, lay it out. It's there. All you have to do is rock it up and take the pressure off. Make the flexibility of the holidays work for you rather than against you. Okay, we might not come to the 6 a.m. block because we're having a lie-in. Why not do it, yeah, later on, have your set time, or just do shorter ones? How about snackable workouts, bolt-on workouts? Take the pressure off a little bit and just make it flexible, make it work around you. I would always say, as always, plan your classes on Sunday for the week ahead. Always, 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 always. And if you haven't already written it in your calendar or set an alarm on your phone, please do that now. Just stop this, stop the video or stop the podcast, whatever you're listening to, do that now. And even if we have to be a bit flexible, so even if, okay, oh, I said I would do a strength class on Tuesday and didn't get to do it, so what? When can you do that strength class then? Can we bolt it on with something else, or can we just do a shorter one later in the day? Where can we do it? Have that flexibility too, but have the plan. Have the plan. And your range targets. What's your non-negotiable minimum? What is your ideal? We aim for the ideal, but anywhere between your non-negotiable minimum and your ideal is a win. As I start to lose weight, I get lazy. I'm 14 pounds off my goal. How do I stay focused? Okay, this is like the danger zone. You know that place where you're feeling better, your clothes are starting to fit nicer, people are starting to notice, and your brain just goes, cool, let's chill, let's relax, let's take our foot off the gas. But this is actually where it matters the most because we are building the identity of somebody who finishes what she starts. So this is the shift. We don't focus on the actual number, so the final 14. We focus on living the life like the person who is already there, who's already got there. What would she do? How would she move her body? Would she have a protein-rich breakfast? Would she get to bed at a decent time? Would she get up and do her workout even when she didn't really feel like it? Yeah, she probably would. So we focus on ticking off those boxes and thinking about the person you want to become when you get there, not that number. Because what happens if we focus on a number is we end up with this, it's called the arrival fallacy. When we get to this magical number, we feel like something is going to drastically change in ourselves. We associate this number with being happier, healthier, fitter, stronger, more vibrant, more energized. We associate it all with a number, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And when we actually get there, quite often what happens is it's a bit of an anticlimax because you still feel like you. You still feel the same. Like, yes, you managed to get your goal, which is great, but there isn't this like eureka moment that we all think is going to happen. Because in reality, it happens on the way. You make progress in your workouts on the way, you get stronger on the way, you feel more energized on the way, you start to eat better on the way. And these are the actual wins and the things that we should be ticking off because they're all the things that get you closer to the actual person you want to be. So the actual person you want to be isn't a number. The actual person you want to be is associated with all these things. So just keep ticking off the boxes and think about the person you want to become. How do I motivate myself during my menstrual cycle? This is the hard one, isn't it? And firstly, thank you for even asking about this. I think so many of us try and ignore our cycle and push through. And there are some people who can do that. Like me personally, obviously I'm currently 24 weeks pregnant, so I don't have a cycle right now. But for me personally, I would just carry on as normal unless my body told me otherwise. And some parts of your cycle may feel more sluggish. They may feel more emotional. You may feel more drained and demotivated, and that's okay. So rather than fighting it, just try and work with it. So you may want to focus on, say, during your period or just before it, some gentle movement, some mobility, low impact strength, focusing more on recovery, so your sleep, stretching, maybe some magnesium. But don't confuse lower motivation with a failure. So it's not you giving up, it's your hormones and your body actually doing a lot behind the scenes. It does require energy to build up that uterus lining to then shed to be a period. Like your body is working, which is why you feel like you're lacking energy. It's why you feel bloated because your body is doing so much behind the scenes. And then once your energy comes back, use it. Ovulation is a great time for lifting heavier or trying something new. So that could be something to think about. So that's around about like day 14 of your cycle. So if you're concerned about it or you're interested in, tracking your cycle, track your cycle and track how you feel throughout your cycle. We've got another question about menstrual cycles today as well, so I'll go into it a little bit deeper then, but it could be interesting just to track. And also, you don't need to change anything unless your body tells you otherwise. And that's what I would say, and I'll come back to that as well. Why do the scales give me anxiety? I stop weighing and I feel better for it. Is that okay? Yes, 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 yes. A million squillion times, yes. The scales can be useful for some people. but not for others. And the thing is, you can't let a number dictate your self-worth. And that is why it gives us anxiety, because when we step on it, if it's not what we want to see, we associate our worth, our self-worth with whatever that number comes back with, which if you zoom out and think about it, is kind of crazy. It's kind of ridiculous because what we have to remember as well is for women, especially, that number fluctuates by quite a lot on a daily basis. It can be up to about £5 because it depends on so many things like the type of meal we ate the night before if we're holding a bit of water retention. So if it was a little bit higher in salt or a little bit higher in carbs, it's just water retention, it will go. If you've done a hard workout, you might be holding a little bit of water retention. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't do a workout. It's just we're holding a little bit of temporary water, that's all, while our body basically repairs its muscles. If we've been on a flight, sometimes our digestion can be a bit out of whack. Been eating more, say, richer foods while we've been away. That can affect things. If you've been stressed recently, if you're literally not been to the toilet, like so many things. Yeah, we associate our worth with this number and it's crazy. So if they are not serving you, throw them out. We do not need them. You are not failing if the scale goes up. Instead, these are much better ways of measuring progress. How are my clothes fitting? Am I getting stronger? Is my energy better? Am I making more mindful and empowered food choices that actually nourish and fuel my body to make me feel good? Am I consistently showing up to my workouts? These are all ways to measure your progress. And even to the point of how am I showing up as a person? Am I showing up as a better partner, a better daughter, a better sister, a better colleague? Am I just showing up as a better version of myself? And these are all measures of progress. A number? No. Not really. And the number on a scale can't tell you your body composition either. So it can't tell you your muscle to fat ratio. And you tend to find that people who have a higher muscle to fat ratio will weigh a bit more, yet when you look at them, they look slimmer. So you see what I mean here? If you're an active person, it's not always the best measurement. And I would say if that number is dictating your self-worth, throw the scales out. You do not need them. And you can always use progress pictures if you prefer that. About roughly about 6, ideally 8 weeks apart, and you can see a difference. If fat loss is your goal, or if maintenance is your goal, just keep ticking off the boxes, keep ticking off the core four, and get rid of the scale. We don't need it. Next section. Should I rest when I'm tired from poor sleep and aching from training? Yes. Yes, not always and not every day. So if you sleep is something that you struggle with in general, so you it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's like a scale. If sleep is something that you struggle with in general and you are not exercising, I would be like, definitely exercise and you're going to get a deeper, higher quality sleep. And also we need to exercise to be healthy. And actually you might find that improves your energy in the day. But if actually we have been consistently exercising, and actually, we're waking up, we're exhausted, our body is really tired, it's really aching. It can also be a sign of overtraining, and your body might just be telling you that it just needs a bit more rest, that's all. So, we actually improve our strength when we sleep. So we do the workouts to create a stimulus on the muscle, but we improve our strength during our sleep. That's when our body repairs. So if you're overly sore and tired, you're not sleeping properly, the body is going to be struggling to actually rebuild. So what I would say is if you have a workout planned, but actually you're really, really sore, how about just helping your body and doing something like a stretch or a yoga escape or a yoga, something like that, just to really release the muscles and actually make the body feel a little bit better. So you've still got some movement in there, but it's also supporting your recovery and it's supporting your nervous system too. So it's all about finding that balance. And if if this is a start of a journey or you're trying something new, it's quite normal to feel like this in the beginning and your body does very quickly adapt as well. So just bear that in mind. At the start, we may need a little bit more rest until we get more used to, our body gets more used to it, gets a little bit stronger. And then you might find that actually you don't need as much rest or as many rest days in the week. But yeah, important to listen to your body, but also kind of put it all into context too. Thoughts on standing push-ups against a worktop? Yeah, totally love them. I think they're underrated. They're great. So they are ideal for, say, beginners to push-ups or anyone who has any wrist or shoulder injuries. And they're going to teach you the basics. They're going to teach you how to do the move, how to control it, and also how to keep a tight core when you're doing it. So it can be a great option. If you're cooking some pasta or whatever, you could be on a kitchen top just getting a few push-ups in. But yeah, what I would say is use them to progress on to the next thing. So when that is a bit easy, start to then maybe go down onto onto the sofa, which is a little bit lower, and then go down onto your knees, and then start in a plank position on your toes, lower yourself down, put your knees in the floor and come up, then on toes. But it's all about strength building, it's all about progression. But yeah, go for it. How should I exercise around my cycle? Okay, so here's the second question about menstrual cycle. And as I said earlier, you might not need to. Some people don't need to change anything. And I think it gets a little bit hyped up, the whole exercising around your cycle, but some people do need to. And it's important to always listen to your body. So let's go through each stage anyway and what is actually happening. So you've got days 1 to 5, roughly. Remember, the cycle length is a little bit different for everybody, but let's just say roughly days 1 to 5, that's your period, it's your menstruation. For some people, they might have a really heavy period and they might just want to lower the intensity a little bit, focus on more gentle movement. Some people might not want to, some people might not need to. So it just depends on you and how you feel. And that goes for the whole cycle. I can't emphasize that enough. Next is the follicular phase. So around days 6 to 14. And this is where your energy increases. Your body is basically getting ready for the potential release of an egg. So your body is getting ready, your uterus lining is thickening, etc. And you'll probably have more energy. So you can go for things like strength, cardio, really push yourself. Around day 14, again, different for everyone, around day 14, ovulation, that is where you release the egg. Your energy will be very high. You can lift heavy things, maybe try new things as well. And then after then is the luteal phase. And we tend to usually experience a bit of an energy dip. So you may want to focus more on a little bit more recovery, so maybe a few more recovery days or more flexibility, but you don't necessarily need to track obsessively and plan your month ahead around your cycle. Just notice patterns. So for example, I feel a little bit more bloated today or like a little bit tired. It's probably because I'm in the luteal phase right now. I was meant to do a HIIT session today, but I don't really feel like it. Okay, I think I'm going to do a Pilates or a yoga instead. So I'm still going to get my movement in, but I'm just going to honor how my body feels. And that is how I would do and just adjust accordingly. Because some months it might be totally different. Some months, it might feel worse than others. So just see how you feel and what your body needs. That's the most important thing. I feel like my whole body needs work and I'm always sore. What should I do? Okay, this is a common trap, trying to fix everything all at once. But the body doesn't work well when it's totally overwhelmed. So what I would do is you can either focus on a couple of key areas at a time, so core and upper body, and then rotate your focus. So then next month you might focus on something else. Or, and I'm not saying, by the way, don't do the other stuff. I'm just saying have that as more of a focus. So you might do an extra upper body session a week, for example, or just literally follow the timetable. If you follow the timetable, either the first class or the second class, or you want to double it up and do the first and second, they all complement each other and you will work your entire body. Just stay consistent. But if you are always feeling sore, it might be a sign of the fact that you might be overtraining a little bit for your body right now. And that soreness is called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Sometimes it's a sign that you've done something more intense than normal. Sometimes it's a sign that you've done something a little bit different to normal. It's not a bad thing. It's totally natural. But it might mean that when we're feeling this, we need a bit more hydration, more protein, a little bit more rest to allow the body to recover and then come back to your workout feeling good. So it might mean that, do you know what, my legs really hurt and I'm meant to be doing another leg session today. It's booty band on the timetable. Do you know what I'm going to do today? I'm just going to switch it out for upper body and just let my legs have an extra day of recovery. Perfect. Great. So listen to your body. Don't panic. Just trust the process and you will get there. My left knee is aching loads after squats. Help. Okay, knee pain after squats is usually linked to some kind of form fault or lack of glute activation. So when you're squatting, just check your knees track in line with your middle toes so they're not caving in. Just have a look at that first. You can also work on strengthening your glutes and your hamstrings. I would do booty band for that, 100%. And you might find actually when you use the band for squats that it forces your glutes to switch on and it actually feels more comfortable. It could be also a sign of some tightness and some tension. So make sure you are stretching out your quads, your hamstrings, your calves regularly as well. And if you don't do it regularly, just make sure you do regular like yoga or yoga scape and that'll sort you right out. But if anything just feels sharp, stop doing it. of course, and a physio, can always have a look at this if it is something that you are really struggling with. So it might be worth just going to speak to a physio about it. But first, do all your checks and then make sure you are doing things that strengthen your glutes and hammies, but also you are doing classes that are going to stretch you out as well. It's really important. I get ankle pain during cardio. Would proper trainers help? Yes, yes. Shoes can really, really help. Also, if you're doing it on a hard floor, there can be a lot of impact. If you use, say, running shoes are meant to absorb quite a lot of impact and support your joints as well. If you're jumping around in, like Primark plimsolls, your ankles will probably hate you. So maybe have a look at that and try and, make sure you're regularly changing your trainers as well, roughly every half year, depending on how much you're using them. If you're not using them as much, every 12 months. Or you can get some, like gym matted floor, so your floor is a little bit spongier. And also make sure that you are working to both increase mobility in the ankles and to strengthen your ankles as well. So make sure you are doing regular yoga to make sure you're stretching your ankles out. You can do things like a towel scrunch to strengthen your feet. So if you stand on a towel or a tea towel, you can scrunch your toes up one at a time to get to the other side of the towel. If you're not sure, I'll show you. And that can help. You could make sure you're stretching out your calves. So hands against the wall, stretch out the calves. You can do some toe rocks, put your toes against the wall, heel on the floor, and lean forward so your knee touches the floor and then come back again. So all these things will really, really help your ankles as well. So let's focus on improving strength in the ankles, improving mobility, and getting some proper trainers to help. How many exercises per session is enough? So this question was in the context of, I don't always have time to do 2 back-to-backs. Is it okay just to do 1? And 100,000,000% yes. Quality over quantity every single time. So a solid 20-minute workout is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And reality, it's whatever you've got time for. That's the most important thing, and whatever you can commit to consistently. And quite often, 3 to 5 20-minute workouts will serve you so much better than trying to do like an hour a couple of times a week. You'll probably get loads more out of it. And I always think it's better to break it up throughout the week, because you can split body parts a little bit like what we do. You can spread it out with variety, and it's easier, it's shorter, it's sharper, it's more energizing. You find that you put more into it. I get bored doing an hour's workout. So bored. 20 minutes, absolutely no time to get bored. Love it. And you get so much out of it, especially if you come to ours. Can I use the booty band for upper body strength? Yes, you can. It's so much fun. We've actually got some workouts. I can't remember the exact workout where we did loads of arms with it. If anyone remembers, can you please put it in the Facebook group? There's Pilates 207 Extreme with a booty band. That's got some arms with the booty band in it as well. But there's some, I'm sure we did another one. Anyway, if anyone doesn't remember, please let me know in the Facebook group. But things like pull aparts, so holding onto the band and literally pulling it apart, drawing your shoulder blades together. You could loop the band into your hands, so it's around your wrists, and you can do some shoulder presses like that, or literally some raises lifting the band. You could do some rows, so hook the band underneath your foot, and with one arm do some rows and then switch sides. So yeah, absolutely loads. But there's just a few exercises you could do. So you could do each exercise for 45 seconds, have 15-second rest there, and you've got yourself a little circuit. We're moving on to health, hormones, and just body awareness in general. I'm getting sock marks and bloating. I drink lots of water and have sea salt. Should I worry? Okay, so sock marks, they're often a sign of mild water retention. So it could be a hormonal thing, it could be dietary, it could be circulatory, but you're doing a great job drinking all the water, so that's great. But also check your salt balance. So not just, having sea salt, but trying to avoid processed sodium. Have a look at your magnesium and your potassium intake as well. And it could be things like linked to your cycle. If it sticks around though, if it does stick around or gets any worse, I would definitely check with your GP as well. It's something just to kind of keep your eyes on. But definitely have a look at your salt balance. And if you don't know how much magnesium, potassium, sodium you're having, it might just be a really useful exercise just to have a look at the foods that you're having. And you might find that you've got a little bit of an imbalance. So having loads of water, but our salts are a little bit off, for example. Or if it's linked to a certain time of the month, it's worth tracking. It's worth tracking anyway, but then just, definitely speaking to a medical professional about it. What is the link between muscle and metabolism? Do we lose muscle faster in perimenopause? Excellent question. So, the link between muscle and metabolism, the more lean muscle mass you have, the higher your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. So your basal metabolic rate, i.e. your metabolism at rest when you're not doing anything, what it takes to basically keep you alive without moving, that is linked to how much lean muscle mass you have. The more lean muscle mass you have, the higher your BMR, the higher your metabolism. So simple as that. To an extent, I'm not saying that if you gain muscle by, I don't know, a few pounds, all of a sudden you're going to be able to have 4 cakes a day. I'm not saying that at all. But yes, it's linked. And yes, we lose muscle faster once we hit the perimenopause. And what happens is we have a dip in estrogen. And we can exponentially lose muscle mass if we don't do anything about it. But if you stay active, so you do your strength classes 2 to 3 times a week, two is an absolute minimum, really 3 times a week, eating enough protein, then you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine. It's all about staying strong, controlling the controllables, and doing what we can. But as we hit perimenopause, this dip in estrogen, it changes the way that we store our body fat as well. So it means that we end up storing more body fat around our tummies as women, as opposed to before where it might be like thighs, bottom, arms, etc. It kind of goes around the tummy. Coupled with that, we naturally lose more muscle mass thanks to the drop in estrogen if we're not lifting weights, if we're not eating enough protein. So it just becomes even more important to do those kind of things. So you're absolutely in the right place. And the great thing is, the more you focus on strength training and eating more protein, the higher the metabolism. So there you go. Yeah, lean muscle is what we want. Tips for diastasis recti. For those of you who don't know what that is, it basically describes abdominal separation. So if you think of your six pack, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there's your six pack. There's a piece of connective tissue down the middle called your linea alba. And it's usually when you have a child or you're pregnant, your abs actually separate to allow for room for this child. And that's normal. It's what happens and it's okay. But you can have it for other reasons as well. But anyway, your abs separate to accommodate for this little human. And for some women, they find it difficult to basically, this is probably the wrong way of describing it, but draw the six pack back together. So there are so many things that you can do, and also well done for recognizing it. If you do a sit up and you notice, by the way, don't do this while you're pregnant, worry about it afterwards. And there are things that you can do. So, like your deep core breathing, have a look at the pregnancy area if you are pregnant. Your deep core breathing, engaging the pelvic floor, etc., working deep core without lying on your back. But postpartum, so you've had your child, maybe it's been a few years, maybe it's not been very long, do a sit up. And if you see your stomach coning or doming like a Toblerone, that is a sign you are not engaging your deep core muscles. And that's essentially like the connective tissue pushing upwards. So we want to make sure that we are engaging the deep core, drawing the belly in, lifting up the pelvic floor. Things like dead bugs can be really, really good. So that's when you lie on your back, knees above hips, arms above shoulders, and you tap opposite arm and leg down. And things like bridges can be really, really good. Basically, go on demand, and anything that says deep core is really, really good. So you could just, if you type, literally go into the search bar, type deep core in, or transverse abdominis. I think one's called that. I think I call most of them deep core. It's the same thing. Deep core, just put some in your favorites and give those a go. They're the ones that are going to help. And if you're a bit unsure, you can go and see a specialist about this, or you can go and see a physio to work with that. But they're the things that you want to work on. And just literally do a couple a week. And then when you can, during your day, thinking about drawing the belly and lifting up the pelvic floor, do it a few times. Do it a few times a day. And we're on to the last little bit, gang. 2 fast questions. This is on nutrition and hydration. So with the 70-30 eating, how often can I have a takeaway? Okay, it doesn't quite work like this. So what 70-30 means is 70% of whole foods. So basically non-processed, real food. So think lean protein, think plants, think fiber, think fruit, think veg. Think sweet potatoes and potatoes, things that haven't been processed, things that your grandma would serve you for dinner on a plate, unless your grandma would serve you like burger and chips, and obviously probably not. But you know what I'm trying to get at here. And then 30%, I like to call them like soul foods. The fun stuff that's good for your soul. It's a little bit more processed. It might be the wine, it might be the pizzas, it might be the takeaways. That's 30%. So For example, if you eat 21 meals a week, six of them could be more relaxed. But I'm not saying that you should have six takeouts a week because that's ridiculous. The better way of looking, the better way of looking at it is, one, two max takeaways a week, or the odd glass of wine, the odd dessert, or whatever you enjoy. That's fine. It's all about moderation. And what matters the most, it's not all or nothing. The whole point of the 70-30 is like, have I given my body what it needs today? Yes, I had a really nourishing breakfast, actually. Had a really nourishing lunch. Dinner, we're having some, I don't know, chicken and potato and vegetables. So, what about this Freddo bar? Or what about this Kit Kat? Or what about this little muffin? Yeah, I'm going to have that. I'm going to enjoy it. So, it might be your one hell yeah thing of the day. But that doesn't mean I'm going to have the muffin, then I'm going to have another one, then I'm going to open the pack of crisps, and then I'm going to finish off the popcorn as well. It doesn't mean that. It means give your body what it needs. Our bodies are not bins. Give your body what it needs, and then absolutely have a little bit of what you want. If you look forward to a takeaway with a glass of wine on a Friday night, yes, have it. 100%. If you love going out for a Sunday dinner and having an apple crumble afterwards, have it, own it. It's your choice. It's completely your choice. But think about what you're doing with your body most of the time. And also think about making choices that align with your goals. So I hope that makes sense. But basically, you want your body to thrive without depriving yourself of the things that you want as well. And that's where the 70-30 balance comes in. So we don't have to put it into numbers. We just have to think about this as a general concept. Okay, hope that makes sense. No, sorry. Does it have to be 2.5 litres of water or can it be squash? Yeah, squash counts. Obviously, ideally, it'd normally be just water, but I have a lot of squash. I have no sugar squash. This is one I've got here from Asda. Apple and blackcurrant. I do enjoy a bit of squash. Obviously, it does have like a few sweeteners in, but it's basically four calories. 4 calories a glass. Basically, no fat, no sugars, no salt. It's not got a right lot in it. If it means that you're going to drink more and you're going to drink more water, then go for it. Obviously, it's not superior to water, obviously, but it's fine. It's fine. Yes, go for it. The things I wouldn't count in your water intake, I wouldn't count teas or coffees. Yes, we could argue that it's got liquid in it, it's got water in it, blah, blah, blah. I think we need to focus on giving our body good stuff. So I wouldn't necessarily include that. Unless maybe it's a decaf, okay, maybe. But really focusing on mainly water-based stuff. And I also wouldn't include alcohol, obvious reasons. So yeah, they're the things that I wouldn't really include. But other things can be really hydrating. Like milk is actually really hydrating. Things like orange juice can be really hydrating. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily need to be strict. Ideally, we would be drinking more water. It would mainly be water, but other things can be included as well. And I also wouldn't have 3 glasses of orange juice. I would probably stick to one. All right. What an amazing bunch of questions. Team, I hope these have really, really helped. And just remember, it's not about being perfect, particularly, with the summer holidays coming up. It's just about really doing what you can, leaning into what you can, learning, staying curious, and building habits that are actually going to support you for your life and not stress you out. And it's so much easier than you think, and you're actually doing so much better than you think as well. Most of us give ourselves a really hard time. So on that note, everyone, have a lovely day. And if this has helped you, make sure you let me know in the comments. If you're listening to it on the podcast, leave a rating, leave a review. It helps us help more people as well. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.